Hello, YouTube. This is Chong, and I fixed my box. Somehow, putting my power cord under it and extending it out helped me. It didn't cost me no money, and I can move my camera around, go up and down, gotta worry about nothing. So, I'm pretty happy with this whole process here. It actually makes me happy. Now I don't have to worry about buying a stand for my phone when I'm streaming. It's happy days. And then this could solve my lighting problem because I don't gotta worry about this because I bought a cord that was like 20 feet long. It's ridiculous how I got this cord. This cord's like huge. It extends out to like half of my bedroom, but it could go anywhere. You could put it under a box or anywhere, and it cost me $3. See, I'm this cheap. I really am. But I figure maybe today I just want to take a chill day. But I did have to work on my brother's pot holder. And I don't know, it's kind of starting, I don't know, not as good as I wanted it, but I'm hoping with maybe a little bit of skill and praying to God, it'll get to be a better pot holder because I'm trying to make it real big. But we'll see. All these experiences in your life, sometimes you go and things are always different. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going over here in my bag. And we're gonna do the whole stream and kind of blog every. I am a blogger. I've always been a blogger. I was a dog walker and a blogger. I've always been a dog walker and I've always been a blogger. So this never changed. It just now I have different things going on and just different ways of doing it. But either way, I'm just a blogger. And I guess today, what I did, I guess since I'm blogging myself at this point, because I have no one else to blog. Here's all my strings that I'm trying to make out of this pot holder. Because I mean, I'm not super famous at all. I'm just I'm just an autistic girl trying to get through life. That's really all I am. Life sometimes could get difficult when you have autism. And sometimes people tell you can't do things. And it just like comes down to little things like pot holders. See, I'm working on this. I think I'll get it. Just like some people say autistic people are very smart. That's a lie. Because autistic people are very smart, and honestly, it's a condition where you could be. Okay, here you go. That's why I always gotta keep busy. It could be a condition where honestly, where you just appear normal, it's just your social is really messed up. And the way you handle things. I was going through a really bad depression. Sometimes my autism will make me super emotional, and I lose sight of what I'm supposed to be doing. That's why I have that's why I have a dog. So that's why he's literally a service dog because of the autism. But he helps, and that's why I understand him a little bit more than other people because we're kind of We're kind of in the same mindset, me and Chong. And it's always been that way. And with animals, I mean, not with Chong. I just got Chong not too long ago. It's always been like that with animals with me. See, here I'm just trying to take these and put these together like that. I don't know what's at the window, but Chong's hears something. I can't hear very well. This is one reason I have to have a service dog because I literally just can't hear well. It's just I got problems in that area, and I'm okay with it. I mean, not everybody is going to have great hearing. It is what it is. But I guess I'm here living proof to tell you guys to, I guess, respect autistic people and just people in general because when you're autistic, you just sometimes you see the bad in people sometimes before you see the good. And sometimes when I see people, I don't know what the heck's going outside, but everything has to go on when I'm streaming. Swear to God, the end of the world's gonna happen while I'm streaming. That's when the asteroid or meteor, whatever they say, is coming to kill us. Will happen when I'm streaming. I am convinced of this. Alright, I like to. I'm just trying to get long string so I don't have to keep threading this. And I take a loop here and a loop here, and I'm just sewing this together because I did do knitting before and I forgot to knit. But anyways, they showed me when I was at my one job how to knit, and it took me like 2 months to make a scarf, and it was not a pretty scarf. I want to say this was just a not so pretty scarf, And I was doing nursing things, but sometimes we'd have a giving tree, and if we had any downtime, we would make stuff for the Christmas tree for people that needed in need. You know, and I didn't really take lunch because I'm just not the most sociable person, and I like to keep working. So I went by there, and they did show me, but it takes a long time. This is kind of how I got this idea because I made all these scarves, and this is kind of how we did it. And all these rows turned out when you knit. They're I didn't like the way sometimes when you knit you have to do these different little techniques to get the yarn in there just to get scarves done. And I'm trying to find a better way. But I think this might be the way. But I know my brother's excited about these pot holders, so I'm trying to get these done. But I was watching these unexplained mysteries, and they have pyramids. I can't think of. I mean, I was been watching and half asleep while I was watching this. This is why sometimes I think I'm not the best YouTuber out there, but I try. But I've been watching these, and there's these pyramids, and I forgot the exact name of them. I always forget names for some reason. But anyways, these pyramids, they don't know there's no record of the people. They have skeletons of these pyramids and like these mounds and proof of a civilization, and it's in North America. But they just was there, and then one day they wasn't. And then there's Jamestown. They have all these missing cities that just come up, and Atlantis. comes up, but then Antarctica comes up with Atlantis. I mean, there gotta be something in our Antarctica. I'm just saying. Antarctica seems to be a hot spot for a lot of things. And maybe it's because it was under snow and some major climate thing happened. So it's like all these mysteries are just evolving around it. And it's just all very interesting. I mean, I find it very interesting how it always comes back to Antarctica. Whatever happened, they're saying it might have things shifted and moved towards Antarctica. Talking about pole shifting. That's the one correlation I found in a lot of these mysteries I've been watching. It all comes down to Antarctica. I swear to God. I think the meaning of life happens in Antarctica. It's very interesting. I just sewing these together too. That's all I'm doing is I have a yarn needle and I use it just like thread. And they're wonderful. You order them on Amazon and just yarn needles. And then I'm just literally sewing these together. And I braided these ropes. And I've done these in so many episodes. You could probably see them on like rope yarn braiding, and then I just made all these kind of different colors. And I just now decided I'm just gonna take all the purple ones, and I'm gonna make this because now I can sew, but I can sew pretty okay. But yes, it's not the most skillful, but because I know a lot of people that could sew better than me, it's not the worst either. It really isn't. I mean, some of the older people are very skilled at it, and you're never going to be as good as somebody that's been knitting since they were younger. It's just never happening for you if you think that. And all the credit is given to the generation or just someone that's been knitting for years. I've been doing it maybe for off and on for maybe five. But maybe by the time I get older, it's kind of like if you're a football player and you went and like let's say your knee bothers you or whatever, or you blow your ACL. This happens a lot. It's sports. It's the world of sports. What are you gonna do? And anyways, you do that, you're gonna play golf. So this is just kind of one of these activities that people do when they slow down in their life, and they do it a lot when they're older. So I mean, I worked with older people for a long time and just kind of learned how to do little things. They taught me how to sew. I just take these and sew them just like I would do embroidery, and I'm putting them together. Because honestly, to get a good embroidery is very expensive. And by the time you like carefully get this and that, and if you have a dog and kids, you're not gonna be able to get a pot holder done. But if you braid down your rows and then like you're doing just sewing something together, it could work honestly. And I'll clean it up later on. That I will. Well, these are just some one project you can do with yarn braiding if you wanted to. I mean, you're just making your rows. And then while you're doing that, you could use this and make a blanket this way. Honestly, I mean, it might take you a little bit longer, but it'll take you less time. Well, skilled, anybody that's skilled at doing this kind of thing, it would not take them long. Maybe a couple months at that. You're figuring it's somebody that's skilled. So, when you're skilled, you're skilled. That's just the way that is. See, if you get a longer piece like I am, you can cut it off and you can not make another knot and then you don't have to rethread. But if you make it too big, it's kind of hard to do this. And it's just something to keep you busy. And you can make useful things around your house. Just like my brother rents a pot holder's birthdays come in, Valentine's Day's coming. Honestly, I could throw together something like this, and how much might it really cost me? It's yarn. And it gives you something to do, and people tend to like this kind of thing. It's getting popular again. I don't know how, but it is. So if you just knot that twice, and then come here and you gotta grab a little bit on each row like this. And then just pull it under. You don't have to, that one knot doesn't have to be all ugly like. And you can go in another row like this and move your little needle around to like bring this in this way too. And then just pull it out. Because I want a little frayed end. So I'm gonna, since this is all gunky right here, I'm gonna try to take this and just sew it all in. I think it just would be easier this way. And when you combined it like that, you could come around the back. Alright. You gotta figure, it's just like you're sewing anything. You're sewing the back end to kind of bring all that together for one piece. And you can go through knots, you can go through anything with a yarn needle. It's just very versatile. I love these kind of needles. I mean, old fashioned way is always good. Old fashioned craftsmanship, old world things are the best. Yes, they are. I'm not trying to dispute any of that, trust me. I don't know. But you can combine old world stuff and new world stuff. Because, as I'm told a lot, times are changing. I was told that by a lot of young people, so. And if times are changing, maybe styles and knitting can change. There's a lot of things going on out there, and this can give you happy memories of when you were younger, honestly. Because, let's face it, we all need a little happiness. But getting back to these unsolved mysteries, I'm gonna cut this because there's like it's too much frayed over here. They were these really smart people, the smartest people I ever seen. They said that some of it maybe just lost, and there was a possibility that it just could be lost history, and nobody will know because we were not there. But it very well could have been. It could have been something, but it's just weird how everything kind of migrates towards Antarctica. There's something about that. I don't. Maybe it's whatever drastic happened where a lot of civilizations died off had something to do with Antarctica, and the answers are there, but we just don't know. I think it's happened more than once, and maybe we'll find a graveyard of civilization when we ever can figure out how to get through those thick pieces of ice, and it's really no one's fault. It's a crazy landscape. I don't know how the polar bears live there. It's, I don't know. It would really truly be a terrible place to try to live. That it would be worse than anything because it's so erratical with the climates. And some of our world's most prized resources, some of theirs too is radical, but I think altogether it's just not good either way. I would not want to live there. Alright, I'm gonna cut this. Move that there. I already secured that. See, I'm just sewing this in. Just so when I sew these, they look pretty and nice. You can even make doll clothes with this method. But I don't know, I might even wrap it around something. I probably can layer it in a box. I see so many boxes. I do. There's more boxes in my life than anything. I wonder if I could layer this in a box. I think it would make it fun. Since I'm only taking pieces of here, I could just cut some of this rope. And alright. See, I'm just taking these and sewing these on here. I'm going to try to just keep widening this out and bringing it closer. And I'm going to try to get it big enough for a pot. Because I need to do something. So let me get this. Now that you actually kind of seen me going in and out with them, I'll start showing you on the board. I like yellow. These yellow play kids play mats because I feel that the yellow kind of stands out. But with my new box and be able to move, I actually have my mat really high up. That's why this box works so well. And I take this end here and I just loop it. I just go through twice and make a small knot. And then just take these two, and then I take the one over here and the one over here. And just do that. And then it's going to have a little tail right here, but that's okay. You're just sewing this like you would sew your clothes. Alright. And then I'd like to bring this up with my fingers. Alright. I'm taking this. I take it on the outermost end here. And then take one small stitch here. Just like you're sewing your clothes. That's all you do. And then just take that, and I take a small, just one stitch from that row and do that. And then go like this and that. I tell you, yarn needles you can create some really pretty things with yarn needles. And the material is, you're making your own material is the thing. You're making your own material. You don't have to worry about these kind of things. You just literally just go, well, it's going to take me a couple days to make that. Or I got a day of braiding. You just kind of have to dedicate your time to do it. So I'm going to just pull that under like that. I'm going to bring this out and under this stitch here. And this is all I'm doing, and see how nice that's turning out. You're literally just sewing together material you literally made yourself. You know, and you have, I mean, I think teenagers would even like this. I mean, these days, I don't know. When I was a teenager, I would have loved something like this, but who knows these days? But I think it's very much fun. Then I just take the last stitch from this row and this row, and just bring it together. And then bring it here, and then I bring it over here, and then over there, and up and under here. And then I'm getting a nice plush row. I'm going to go under here, and over here. And you just do this until you know where you were stopping and starting. And you can make really beautiful pieces. Because if you watch my other videos and just braiding yarn, you'll see how easy it's like braiding hair, and then you're making your rows. And you can cut your material, which is easy. And you don't have to worry about ruining it because yarn is so versatile, you can move around with it. And we're just doing that. And coming around here. And this is really all I'm doing. And come out this way. And it doesn't take long once you have all this. And I mean, it's so easy method, you could do it with your whole family. I mean, it's the crazy thing about this. And you're just pushing this through. Because you could poke through all of it. And really, the needles are not even that sharp. So you could just poke through anything. But there's so many little holes in yarn. You can fix it up like I'm fixing up the end here on this side. Try to combine this row really nice. You could go through stuff. Go through knots with this. You could go anywhere you want with this. And I'm just going to use up this little bit just to get this in here. Because if you don't want to spend all day knitting, this is a different way of doing it. And then I'm going to knit this. I'm going to sew this into this. And let's see. I put another row down here. I mean, it's just so versatile and easy. And then you just do that. There's a little scarf thing here. Because you can always, and then I'm going to cut this little one because it was a long braid. But you cut it. You're going to use the piece for something else. Because later on you can fix that up with yarn. Yarn can always be fixed. But I wasn't watching YouTube. Usually I love watching YouTube, but I was watching Unsolved Mysteries. And when you watch the Unsolved Mysteries, you kind of get a garden variety of everything. See, these small ones I'm going to use for the end here, for my end pieces, to sew them in, like that. I think that's what I'm going to do for all these small ones. And then I can cut these off. So that'll be good for me. Alright, but Unsolved Mysteries is pretty amazing. It's like you got some good ideas, and it's just like you just be like, wow. See this? I'm just throwing that in there because it's too small. Alright, I guess I'll use this little thing and start putting in a new row. But the Unsolved Mysteries going on and on, and then he had all these. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it all came to Atlantis. They're talking about all these civilizations. I was mind blown. It's very important that we try to one day, it might not be in our lifetime. Maybe when Antarctica we do find out about it, there's gonna be a world disaster. Maybe it's kind of better it stays frozen. I don't know. I got a bad feeling about Antarctica that if we do too much, it might just backfire on us. It seems like it's just like a ticking time bomb for something. Something the ancient people just did not want exposed. Or just some kind of natural phenomenon or something that's going on there. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of scared when we do find out the truth. Because how is that going to be? Seems like that's going to be pretty damn bad for people. It might be in the brink of one natural disaster and then us scrambling to record. Because there's just a lot of ice and a lot of stuff going on there. And it's proof that it was a tropical paradise, but what happened that it wasn't? And is this event gonna happen again? That's some scary stuff. I don't care who you are, if you say you don't care about anything in the world, but that is some scary stuff there. And it makes me like, I don't know, it makes me kind of like, wow. I don't know if I'm in a hurry to find out. Let's just put it that way. It seems like that's going to be like, what do they always say? that's going to be what broke the camel's back is when we find out a lot about Antarctica. I mean, at this point, only God knows what happened in Antarctica or a higher power, whatever you believe in. I do not think it was a good event at all. And I believe maybe the earth healed itself somehow, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to be ever. The event was so traumatic in space and history that I don't think we would want it to happen again, honestly. Because, I don't know, maybe this was what all the religions are kind of talking about. There's a lot of religious communities out there talk about a lot of different things. They always talk about things like that. And honestly, I'm thinking maybe this is the event they're all talking about. For some reason, with the R's, sometimes you have to, the one N gets all fuzzy, and then you have to re sew this through the top. But it is something to think about. I mean, I like to think about other things than who's sleeping with who. And to me, trying to use my brain and being intelligent is more important than worrying about who's doing this and who's doing that. I like to be productive. And maybe it was something because they said that I mean, I heard from people, I don't know if it's true, they said that cows emit a certain kind of gas. And when we started using cows for food and stuff, it disrupted something in the environment. It's some kind of gas they give out. I'm not sure which one it is, but we're already doing something naturally. Maybe they were doing something as simple as us, but like with this cow situation. Maybe it was simple and it was innocent, but it did something to trigger something, and maybe there was just a colossal effect because we weren't alive back then. We don't know, and to affect things in that way, and they're talking about these polar shifting and everything. It had to be pretty traumatic. So I don't know. I mean, to me, instead of worrying about what people usually worry about, who's doing this, who's doing that, sometimes it's better to use your brain, and I do believe that because I try to use my brain all the time for things, intellectual things, productive things. I like to have just intellectual talk. I don't like to hear everybody's business when I'm just in general, I don't like to hear everybody's business. I mean, if it's simple business, that's fine. Like, I don't know, they went out to a nice restaurant. And maybe you could try this restaurant. I don't mind that kind of business. But when it comes to other kind of business, I don't like it. So that bothers me. To me, I feel like these things just should be private. But I guess that's just me because I like to do productive, and then, like I said, this is fun to me. I enjoy making pot holders, this and that. And this is just things I personally enjoy. And I feel when you do stuff, it should be productive in a way. Because before you know it, you got all kinds of stuff in your life you got to do. And then you got to put it all together and combine it and organize all of your activities. And that's what life's about, just take and organize on all of your activities. And you know what, if we don't find the answer to the universe in our lifetime, if you just had conscious thought and used your brain to learn something, to have a thought in your head, it only benefits you. It really just does. So I put another row on there. It's coming along pretty good. It's not bad. And I'm not trying to make, I guess I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm just saying sometimes if you take life too seriously, that's what happens. I mean, sometimes it's good to just kind of sit back and try to think about things in life that intrigue you. And then you watch it. Or, look up things. If you like doing arts and crafts, look up arts and crafts. Think of fun projects to do. I mean, also have depression. See, I'm just cutting these ends because they're kind of. Eventually, I have to go over them anyways. And it's not gonna be good, but I mean, I got a little bit of this done. When you're in a yarn project, it takes a minute. It really does. I'm just gonna kind of keep going and doing this till old Megan gets home. And this one. So that doesn't line up with those pieces, so I'm going to put this here. That could be an end piece. This one would definitely be our next row. Kind of got to measure out your pieces. And like I said, to save all this extra yarn, you're using it for thread, honestly. And take all your little pieces in there. And then just thread out your yarn. Doesn't matter. You just put it in your needle. Because I gotta put all these together somewhat before I braid any more yarn to keep this going. I'm going to pull that through, and I'm going to net this and net this over here. There you go. And then we'll put two knots on this end. And then I just literally just like the Girl Scouts. Over your fingers, under, and out. That's it. Over your fingers, under, and out. So easy. Very easy, and it's easier than making friendship bracelets or anything, in my opinion. And all these braided ends I have here that literally short, they're going to be used for something else. The ends of this, most likely. See, I could cut away all like spare pieces that way too. You can't mess up yarn. Yarn is so versatile. And it's warm. That's why people have yarn blankets. So it makes yarn great. Could be a lot of things. And I like to hold my yarn because you're going in and out of holes and stuff when you're doing your yarn. I don't know where this row piece here came from, but it's in my way so I can cut it. So with yarn, you could just cut it. If it gets a piece gets in your way, just get it out of your way. And it doesn't bother the integrity of your what you're doing. It always blends in. You don't even notice it because it's yarn. And just pull it through that way and out that way. And then this way and out that way. And come out here. And I just keep doing this, literally. And it looks like I spent days doing this and I didn't. The only reason it's taking me days because I do all my arts and crafts while I'm on YouTube. I really don't do them any other time because I do dog walks over on Instagram, and I have my Chong group, which takes up some of my day. But it is what it is. I got my friends in that group, so I spend a lot of time there. This is why this is like this. So I dedicate my arts and crafts time in my day to YouTube. And the one thing, and I like to talk when I'm doing arts and crafts, and this is what I like to do. This calms my mind, helps me focus, and I get something done because I'm always trying to do, like people have always told me I do too much. When I clean for 5 hours. So this is my life. I probably do too much, and it's okay. It's who I am. I like to keep busy. I always have. And things like this just keep me busy. And I get pretty good at some things as I like to practice. I mean, I really don't do drugs. I don't smoke anymore, except for a little bit of vaping. And I am slowing down on that. I really don't drink. There's a lot of things I won't do. So when you don't really do a lot, you watch a lot of TV and different things like that, and you're thinking of household projects a lot because sometimes I'm just not interested in all the stuff other people are interested in. And like I said, I don't really want to go out and talk nonsense. To me, non-productive things are nonsense. Of course, there's my mother-in-law. Alright, I'm just replying this. Okay. Alright, it's just the mother-in-law again. She doesn't like to interrupt my stream. I tell her I only usually do hour streams with my arts and crafts over here, and I try not. And my phone sometimes likes to have a heart attack about things. It really does. Sometimes I think my phone's possessed, and I'm just saving up some money for getting me another phone. And I will eventually get me another phone. I'm just waiting. It still works good enough. And it's a miracle it actually lets me stream and stuff. I don't have problems with that. I just have problems with other stuff. Storage is the main issue. So, but I just got a basic Android, so it is what it is there. Right. And then put this in now here. Alright, well. Next stream, I'll probably be finishing this up still. And I don't know, it's been about an hour. I'm getting tired and hungry, anyways. I'm gonna probably just end the stream and then I'll probably do another craft stream tomorrow and probably a dog walking stream too. So I'm gonna close this up and I hope everybody is having a great day. And here at Chong, I guess I'm here. Good morning, good evening, and good night. Wherever time, if somebody's like on a different time zone than me. And thank you for listening.